Hi to all the lovely people out there watching this video. You're all most welcome to Tutorials Point. Well, this video once again brings to you a very interesting topic, and that is English idioms used for difficult situations. Well, we are faced with different situations in life, right? And English is a language which is bestowed with humongous vocabulary to describe any or every situation under the sun, and so it is for difficult situations. So let's go ahead and see what are the different words or vocabulary or phrases or idioms which you can use to describe difficult situations. Well, this brings us to the very first you can call it an idiom or a phrase to describe a tough situation, and that is a catch-22 situation. Now, what is a catch-22 situation? Well, it is a kind of a tough deadlock situation which you're just not able to break through it, primarily because of the mutually conflicting consequences of the same, right? So for example, you need money to make money, so it is again a kind of a deadlock, and in order to make money you need money, right? So this is a catch-22 situation, primarily because of the conflicting consequences of the same. So next time you are faced with such a situation, you know how to describe it. Well, let's go ahead and see what are the other words which you can use to deal with different situations. So here is the next word, which is field it. Now, field doesn't only mean that it is not only a word which you can use to describe those players on the cricket field who are busy who are fielding during the time when that entire match is going on, but field it also means to handle a difficult situation. Like, for example, because of her wits, she was able to field the tough questions which she was faced with during her interview. So fielding different situations means that you are able to handle tough situations because of any reason, right? So she was able to field the questions which were thrown at her by the journalists because of her wits. So whenever you are handling a tough situation, that is when you use this term fielded. So here is the next term or the idiom which you also can use to describe a tough situation, and that is dodged a bullet. Now, dodged a bullet literally means that you had a narrow escape out of a very tough situation which would have had disastrous consequences, right? So not taking that bus to school only helped me to dodge a bullet, because that bus underwent an accident on the way to school, right? So it is kind of, you just had a narrow escape out of a very tough situation, and had you not escaped it, probably you would have landed in a disastrous situation. So next time you are in such a situation, just use this idiom to describe it. Well, here is the very next idiom which you also can use to describe difficult situations, and that is grasping at straws. So grasping at straws means that whenever you are in a tough situation, you are using even the slightest ray of hope to get out of it. So when you feel that nothing is working out, and you just see even a very feeble possibility of coming out of that tough situation, you are using anything or every thing under the sun just to come out of it. So that is what is meant by grasping the straws. So you literally are even trying to grasp the straws to come out of a tough situation, right? For example, going through all the files in order to win the case was more like grasping at the straws, right? So even it is that situation which is we know that it is almost a failure, but even if we see a slight ray of hope, we're just trying to grasp it. So that is what is meant by grasping at the straws. So that brings us to the next idiom which you also can use to describe a tough situation, and that is in dire straits. So in dire straits also means to be in a tight spot, or in a tough situation. For example, with the best player of the team hurt and not being able to play, the entire team found itself in dire straits. So they were in a kind of a very tough situation or in a tight spot. So that is what this idiom precisely describes. Well, last but not the least, we have another important idiom which also is used to describe a tough situation, and that is the tip of the iceberg. Now, tip of the iceberg is also something that we've been hearing day in, day out, right? So tip of the iceberg is only used to describe a part of a tough situation, right? So whatever you've just seen was just the tip of the iceberg. There is a lot more that is gonna come your way. So now you know what is the contextual usage of it, and you know how to put it to correct use whenever you are in a tough situation. So friends, this was all about certain idioms or words or phrases in English which you can use to describe tough situations. We will see you again in the next video. Till that time, keep learning with tutorials, point and tutorics. Have a good day.